Hey, how's it going? Welcome to RuMayoNation titles. How's it going? Happy Friday. It's not Friday when I record this, but yeah, there's been a shift up. It was on Mondays, the release of this. I thought, give you a good positive start to your week. And then a few things changed in my sort of day to day in the week. And I thought, you know what? It's more of a Friday vibe. So happy Friday. Hopefully you guys have had a good week so far. And yeah, so just, I don't know if this will be any different. And by the way, I know it goes a bit later on YouTube than it does audio, and I apologise for that. That's entirely on me. I should put more work into getting it ready to go on YouTube, but, I haven't. And there's not really a lot I can do about that in the past, but I promise to do better in the future. So for those who listen to this, just know you can watch it on YouTube in its entirety. I will put a little bits of screen in screen. On the last episode, I was dissecting a video of someone cleaning Big Ben in the 80s. Very niche, but if that's your flavour. But yeah, if I make little references, I'll help you along the way of a little picture. How news reporters sometimes talk and then there's a picture that says, I don't know if this will do that anymore. I don't watch the news anymore. But if you've seen those ones, I'll try and find one now. The sort of thing, again, you'll find on YouTube. If when there's a guy going, this guy who was convicted of multiple murders and other more salacious crimes. Not that murder isn't salacious. That's pretty, that would be hot gossip. Just, and then he only murdered him. Yeah, but was that it? But and then they put a picture of the suspect and it looks exactly like the news anchor. Love that shit. But yeah, there you go. Right, so, full disclosure as well, right? This could fly or die. I've double dropped Pro Plus. All right, I thought a little psychological boost. I took it about 45 minutes ago. And, my life's changed a little bit, but now I'm raving. I'm on the up. I went to the gym, performed a lot better than usual in the toilet because I did 2 shits. But yeah, this can fly or die. It means, I've got my digression pad. For those who don't know, I have this little pad in front of me, and I recommend all people, if you are of a party persuasion and you end up going to post drinks, which was a thing that was coined by some lads at my uni, post drinks, it's worth having a little pad like this because sometimes the chat can waver. It can go places that you don't want it to go. And it's just good to have something to refer back to so you get on point, because what you don't want to do is waste your time at 3 a.m. talking shit in a kitchen. All right. Make sure it's productive and a good use of your time. But yeah, so news article, dude there with the dude who looks like the dude. Yeah, I've taken some Pro Plus. I'm basically in the streets music video for Blinded by the Lights. And now we're here. Not the best start to my morning because I was in a bit of a rush. My daughter is at her nan's for the day, so that's part of the big sort of wholesale changes in Casa del Mayo. But I'm still hearing phantom sounds. I'm oh, is that her? Is that her? It can't be. And if it is, then I've got some sort of telekinesis that I'd rather not have because, if you can't get away from your kid every now and then, do you know what I mean? But so in a rush this morning so I can get her to her nan's, walking the dog, and dog only goes and chooses today of all days to step in his own excrement. Literally just stepped in his own shit. And I'm like, fuck me. Roy Keane. Really? Really?
Oh, really?
That's what you're doing today, of all days. And do you know what's worse? It was his second shit. Don't worry, I've got a few poo bags in the bank. I found a few this week as well. 2 if you're counting. I do take my own. I'm not that brazen with it, but I'm quite good at finding poo bags. I'm also not entirely sure on this top. It is long sleeve. I've rolled up the sleeves for those listening. It kind of, I've got these grey joggers on. It just looks a little bit like if I was to walk around and a skateboard was to roll to my feet, that'd be expecting at least a little ollie / pop shove it. Not entirely sure what that is. My limited skateboard knowledge is based on Tony Hawk's games. I feel like it's a little bit Skater Boy. Avril Lavigne will be ruin the day for someone else that they said, see you later, boy. But anyway, we'll move on. My dog stood in his own shit. And it was the second shit of the walk. And as he did it, grammar, come on, I always call the kids up on that one. As he did it, as he proceeded to step in his own excrement, in his own shite, as he was going, I was like, he's going to step in his own shit. I had like a weird sixth sense for it. Because he kind of went up against a wheelie bin, like where the wheelie bin was in front of him. And I thought he's going to have to like exit stage back rather than being able to shimmy off to the left or right. And he sort of stopped, shuffled, and then went and just stomped through into it, bang in the middle. And like, if you're a dog owner, you'll know it's kind of like, oh, because it's not like, you know, my dog doesn't come equipped with like these wipeable flippers. He's got the paws, they call them, like, hang on, 4 pads and then a little 5th pad, but it goes right up in there and it's, you know, oh. So I'm there like basically like treating the grass like a, I want to say mandarin. It's mandarin or mandolin, whichever the one is that you cut vegetables on, where I feel like I'll never use them because I'll definitely lose my fingertips. I'm just doing that on the grass, and I'm making him walk on the grass the whole way home, which he's hating, but I'm trying to like get as much off as I can. No enough to get home and get a baby wipe and start sort of cleaning it out like a guy trying to mend a pocket watch, getting all in the little details. You just think, fucking of all the days, I'm in a rush. Because you can't have the dog running. Because my dog, honestly, when you're walking back from the walk, we go a good 6-7k, right? It's when he gets home that he then has this second wind and just wants to go silly buggers, like smash himself on the sofa, running around. I see so many videos, well, not so many, maybe like 3 in my whole life, of like dogs doing that, like zoomies, bang, 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 bang. And every time in the comments there'll be someone going, walk that poor dog. And it's like, no, you thick twat. Maybe a bit strong. It's Pro Plus is getting me a bit, you know? But no, you idiot. Like, it's normally because they're happy and excitable because they've had the fucking walk. All right? They're not doing that because they need a walk. So they go, right, well, I can't get a walk, so I'm just going to smash off the arm of this chair over and over again. So he's going to do that, but obviously then naturally, if there's any shit on his paw, all of a sudden it's like that scene in Drop Dead Fred. Weird reference. If you know the film, you know the film I'm talking about. You'll know the moment I'm talking about. When and he handstands into the living room and then yucky, yucky, smelly dog poo. Good film, by the way. Check it out. But yeah, not the most ideal start. I keep hearing phantom sounds, which is ironic because I'm so deaf at the minute. Like, I had that cold last week. Fine, thanks. A lot better now. But the one thing that lingers, and it always comes like almost after the cold, is like gummy ears. Like already one ear is just a bit fucked from my DJing days, I think. And I've worked it out it is that because I thought I had dodgy earphones. Like, 'cause the left one was quieter than the right. And I'm like, they're just dodgy. So I swapped them out. Still quieter in the left. And I think, why? I've got to find that now. It'll be in the screen.
Why?
And then I've realised when I used to DJ, I'd have the cup over that one. Oh, no, it might be the other one. No, I had it on the right. So I think what it'll be is that almost kind of like suppressed the sound slightly, and then the left ear was left for the actual big speakers booming out into the crowd. So my left ear is a bit more fucked than my right. But I get gummy really easily. And I've gone into these people that can like flush them out and stuff. And when I got there, she was like, I'm not even going to charge you for this because there's nothing really that I can see. It could be like inner ear, like you have to go to the doctors. But what's the point in today's world? Do you know what I mean? So but when I get a cold, like, 'cause if I lean onto the side, I hear it go like, and then I can hear better. So when I come up right again, it clogs up again. Now, there might be people listening who can hit me up with some sort of like prognosis, diagnosis, either of those, both helpful. Hit me up with them. But it just means that like I'm properly fucking deaf. So like I'm sitting there watching something with my wife in the evening, and I'm like, can you just and she thinks I'm gonna say turn it down because I'm worried about waking up my daughter. No, turn it up because I can't fucking hear anything. Like, subtitles are on standard, but I really can't fucking hear. And do you know what my wider issue is? I can't eat and listen at the same time. And I don't think that's the sole reason I've never been on a date. Like, I've never been on like a proper date. Like, I'm married, I have a kid, it works, don't need your sympathy. I think a big part of why I've never been on a date is because I only make sense after a while. Like, if this is your first time listening to me, you're probably thinking, fuck me, he interrupted himself talking about his dog stepping in shit to talk about the fact that he's dressed like a skateboarder from Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3. Like, I make sense after a bit of time. I need like 4 to 5 business weeks for you to go, oh, I get it. He's a bit kind of bing bong, but like, you know, he's a nice enough lad and he can be funny on occasion, right? But like, so there you go. Even in this, while I'm trying to explain that to you, like, I've forgotten what I was talking about. and I didn't write down the digression pad. It's all the caffeine, man. I'm just feeling it. People pushing by. Okay, we go through the script at this point. I was talking about gummy ears, and I can't can't eat and listen at the same time. So, like, and that's why I don't think I've gone on dates. I'd be useless because if I'm eating, my ears just switch off. Like I was at my mother-in-law's on the weekend because it was her birthday. Happy birthday for then. I was there to say it in the time. Did you then say it again? I guess. I mean, who cares? She's certainly not watching it. She's seen more than enough of me to make her assumptions about whether her daughter made a good or bad decision about who she chose to marry and have a child with. But she's looking after that child, which could be a sign that she thinks the more I have of her, the better. I'm a good dad, all right? Don't make me dress up as Batman and stand on a fucking ceiling somewhere. You can't stand on a ceiling. Roof. I meant roof. God, man. Whoa. How much has my life changed? A couple of Pro Plus and I'm fucking like... can't organise myself. I thought, you know what, this might key me in a bit. And it has, but in the same way that you feel like you keyed in at 3 a.m. in a dance tent at a music festival. Definitely singing in key. Even though there's no vocals on this track, don't worry about it. But yeah, but I can't... So then I'm there and I'm eating like a bit of pastry because I've married up in social classes, so we have pastries. And I'm like having a bite and all of a sudden they're talking. And you know, like in war films when like there's an explosion and there's that sort of like... I can't whistle. Noise, and they're like, and it's all a bit distorted, and I see people like talking, one dude's just holding his own arm. I'm thinking of the D-Day scene from Saving Private Ryan specifically, and then it's like there's people talking and you can't hear, and someone's obviously shouting at him, and then they pull him by the shoulder and they're like, I'm saying, where should we go, Sergeant? Like, I'm in that bit, but I'm eating a pan au chocolat. Like, they're just chatting and I'm just sat there like, I have no idea what the fuck they're saying at this point. And then sometimes I'll just look to me and I'm like, no, I can't hear you. Did you not see I took a bite of me chocolate twist? I had one of each. I can't. So I think when I'm like, if I'd be on a date, it'd be like, oh yeah, so do you have siblings or other such boring date-based questions? And then I have to go, hang on. Then they'll probably think I've got more to say. And it's like, no, I can't listen because I just had a mouthful of spaghetti bolognese, which is the worst thing you could eat on a date, surely, right? No one's ordering... The cojones. You know, I said about like I wished I had the neck, the confidence to sit for one of those caricatures that are just horrific indictments of your physical form. The brass bollocks to order spaghetti bolognese on a date, and you know, a couple up with a white shirt, they're thinking this guy's a fucking renegade. Like, this guy is just off-piste, and they'll like it. They'll probably like it. I guess it kind of depends what women are into. But yeah, so I'm like deaf as fuck at the minute. So it kind of, do you know what, it really does spin you all out. Like, it completely throws your balance. Like, not that I have, you know, it's not like at any point I'm expected to do a floor routine, but like, you just kind of aware you're a bit off. Do you know what I mean? You're not quite. So then you just feel really disoriented, and Jesus, it's it's an absolute fucking nightmare at the minute. But yeah, we're recording this, by the way, just so you know, it's the 9th of October. A little bit of a delay because we had a little red post slip through the letterbox. Do you know, I've not even had a transition yet. Let's have a transition and we'll get into this, shall we? Because what we need is things to break it all down a little bit, alright? So yeah, got home from dropping my daughter off at my mother-in-law's, and there's a red slip through the door. You know, sorry we missed you, posty thing. And last night I had it delivered, by the way. Why give the option for me to specify where I'd like you to try if I'm not available to take in the post, if you're just going to leave it against my front door anyway? Why give me the option? Because I went in and went, right, preferences, try my neighbour next door. He's a mate of mine. There was something due to come like 4:30 till 7:30, but I was doing football training at 6, and I know my wife would be like sorting my daughter's bath out. So like, I was like, yeah, try my neighbour. Fortunately, it arrived before I left for training, but I didn't answer the door because my Ring doorbell, like, I've charged it, but it's just not ringing the doorbell now. I don't really know what's going on, to be honest. But they obviously tried. I don't think they did try, actually. They do that fake knock, didn't they? They do the TV license man knock where they go. You won't even hear that on the microphone. Where it's like, oh, I'm not going to really knock because then I've got to actually wait for you to open the door. Then I'd rather just pretend to knock and leave it on the doorstep and fuck off. Like, because they've got to do like 7,000 deliveries a day. But like, just leaves it on the front door. I think, why give me that option? The only thing worse than that is when you do open the door because you're there, like, looking through the magnifying glass. Like, you know, when you order a Deliveroo and you see it's entered your village and you're there just, like, prowling like you're about to fight in the UFC, just waiting for it to come in. And for some reason, they've got all the way around, like a fucking tour of all the parks of the village before they get to you. And you think it's cold enough before you did that. But, like, then you open the door and then they need to take a picture of the thing being delivered. And you think, I don't know what to do there. I'm not a model. I know I look like it, but I'm not. I don't have the time. But like, I've started to think like, should I be sort of, you know, putting a bit of leg into the... Because I usually kind of open the door and just sort of swing myself around. I don't want to be sort of like, hello! So I'm like, it's kind of... I hold my hand out at first and think, what are my feet doing? I'm getting quite self-aware. But then also thinking we can have fun with this. Now, I've got quite weirdly dexterous monkey feet where I can sort of... I've got opposable foot thumbs, basically. So I can give like a thumbs up. And I'm thinking, do I start to sort of get a bit creative with this? Maybe make a name for myself? Is that the name that you want? Probably not. Oh, yeah, you know Dan. You know, Dan, the guy who does the weird fucking like gang signs with his feet when you drop him off a parcel that's got olive oil in it. And that is what I ordered yesterday. Not just that. A video game. But I needed it to go over a certain amount to get free delivery. Amazon, if you're wondering where the fuck you get olive oil at a video game. Obviously, the answer is always Amazon to everything. Who's going to eventually take over the world? Who runs the world? Who runs the world? Yeah. So, but anyway, that's... Post-it comes in. Got there. The post-it comes in. This is fucking erratic. I think Pro Plus was a bad choice. But no, actually no, because I feel happy. Like, just like anyone in Narcotics Anonymous. I don't think that cocaine was a great choice. Obviously, like all the money I've dropped on hookers, and I've lost my wife and my kids, and can't drive anymore because I drove absolutely pinging and smashed into 7 bus stops, which is pretty good going. I'm surprised my car lasted that many. But it's just, I feel, but it puts me in a good mood, right? So I'm going to have to keep taking it, aren't I? But yeah, this post-it comes in. And then it's like, sorry, missed ya. And it's like, yeah, you know, apology accepted. Don't worry about it. We've left it at 76. But I live at 70. And I think that's fucking rogue, innit? Like this, I mean, to be fair, I'm glad they missed Cheech and Chong one door over. Because next door, mate of mine, next door, seriously, Snoop Dogg must live there. They're smoking chronic. It can, like, it... hums. Like, it absolutely hums. Like, when my daughter was first born, we had her sleeping in my bedroom. I went in there, it was like a fucking hot box. Don't get me wrong, she's never slept better. But, like, I was really full defensive, protective father at that point. I couldn't give a shit anymore. I actively encourage it. Come on, don't be a square. Just have a bit of spleef. But, like, it was like a hot box. So I had to go around there like, look, I don't care what you do genuinely. Like, you want to smoke, you'll smoke a bit of ganja, you go ahead, right? Stupidity at Truckfest. Whenever we smelt weed, I just started saying, oh, who's smoking ganja? And my mates know I'm just being a dick, but then I thought everyone else must think he talks like that. And that's the issue with so many things, like calling my wife bruv. I did it ironically at first, now I just call her bruv. I'm like, hey, bruv! And then my wife turns up, the mother of my child. But like, I had to go around there, like, I don't care what you do, but you're going to need to smoke it elsewhere. Because they were clearly smoking it in their bedroom, which was then floating across into mine. I'm like, you know, don't take the piss here. But even if they're going smoking in their back garden, seriously, man, it's good shit. Like, you know, pass my regards on to their dealer. But in the world where, like, and I know it drives my neighbour insane because he lives right next door to it. And again, his kids, you know, pretty chilled out. The Bob Marley music does get a bit repetitive. But, like, edibles now exist. Just take an edible. Like, if you want to get high, that's cool. Take an edible, though. But, like, so they skipped him, skipped Cheech and Chong, and then fucking Willie Nelson. And then they went to the next one, 76. At this point, you might as well drop it off at the fucking village next door. But you know when you realise like the game's changed? Because back in my day, like on my estate, my street, I knew everyone. Like across the road. You had like the guy we used to call Victim. Because whenever you kicked the ball into his back garden, he acted like you'd done it on purpose. And it's like, no, I called Gerard, but I'm not Gerard. So the ball ended up in your fucking garden, mate. Just gives it back. And then like we had the girl who used to scrape up chewing gum from the floor and chew it. And then next to us we had Joan, who's like a lovely old lady who had like kind of like raisin skin tag things. It made me feel a bit sick if I'm honest, but she was sweet. And then it was me, good bloke. Then next to me there was like someone had bought the house and turned it into like flats, and you think, fuck me, this is like one step away from dystopia, isn't it? This was just a standard, I say standard, it was a tin clad house it had managed to put into 2 separate small flats. Then it was my mate Aaron's family, then it was like Denise, then it was like the nutty fuckers who had like an alarm on the outside of their house, it used to flash blue. Like you knew it, but now like I knew across the road as well. There's one over the road. They used to own Terrapins, which apparently is another type of turtle tortoise. They had a kid, Ryan, like a good lad. I think he's ended up like getting into like BMXing or like mountain biking, and he's actually really good. But he was fucking off-piste. Like, really good lad. But a couple of odd things about him, right? And I wasn't even going to talk about him this week, but we're here now. So they kept Terrapins, right? And that weren't the weirdest thing. He used to do this thing, and I don't know if you know like anyone else who does this. He would like repeat what he had said to himself under his breath every time. So go, yeah, why don't we go to the park? Yeah, why don't we go to the park? Like, and he'll do that about everything he said. You know, do about everything he said. Everything. Like, everything. If you watched him, he would say something like, oh, yeah, no, I didn't watch Robot Wars last night. Oh, no, I didn't watch Robot Wars last night. Like, he'd, like, almost, like, checking it through, like, vetting it. So bizarre. Like, I've never known anyone else to do it. Like, he'd sort of, like, check in with himself, like, run the tape. He was, like, you know, Channel 4+1, he had that shit going on before that was even a thing. Revolutionary. But he used to go absolutely batshit every time. He was a bit younger than us, maybe like a year or two younger than us. And whenever he had to get called in, like a bit earlier than us, because he'd have to have like bath and bed and that, he would go fucking berserk. Like, I'm not exaggerating. It was like he's being dragged off to the gulag. Like, you'll never fucking take me alive. You'll never fucking take me alive. No, don't get off me. Fuck off. Get off me. Fuck off. Is that right? Did I get that right? Was the timber right? That, yeah, you know. Like, no, I'm not going in. I want to play. No, I'm not going in. I want to play. Like, I don't think he did that in those moments, to be very clear. That was just for comedic effect. But he used to go fucking spare. But yeah, they had Terrapins. And they were going to move house. So they had moved, and then there was like a bit of a waiting period before the new people come in, so they left their own shit in there. And then the guy 3 doors down, whose kid was 7 years old and used to smoke cigarettes, and he had regularly had riot police turning up at his house. Like, my street was fucking wild, all right? Like, it was Beirut. In fact, that was actually the street next door. We used to call that Beirut. And but like, he fucking burgled their house. And then, like, their little dresser with, like, these floral glass pane windows was just in their living room. He was like, oh, no, I bought that. Did ya? Like, fuck me. It's like, but my point being is, like, he tried to go at my stepdad with a hammer. Like, fucking mate, mad shit, right? Mad shit. This is like where, when I say, like, I'm having pastries on a Saturday, do you realise the jump in my life? Like, do you appreciate that? Just got a weird feeling when I'm recording then, and this would have been lunacy, the way that I've hopped about. If this went recording, I'm going to get, like, sectioned. But, like, yeah, mad shit. Like, their kid who used to smoke used to just run across cars. Just run across cars. Like, it was, yeah. So, but the point is, we kind of knew everyone. We had, like, I'll have to maybe beep names out, but Shane down the bottom end, who threatened his mum with a knife. Like, like, it just, the craziest shit, right? The craziest shit. My street, my whole estate was just wild. Like, I used to do a league table of, like, worst estates in the city, and, like, it'd be between us and the one next door. And, like, you know, if they took the lead, you go, fuck that, let's do some burglaries, get a few teenagers pregnant. Like, let's, you know, if we're going to be the worst, let's be the fucking worst, right? But, like, I knew everyone. But this guy, 76, never seen him before in my life. And I'm knocking on his door, ringing his doorbell. One of them ones where I've taken the post slip round and I'm sort of, like, casually waving it in front of the ring doorbell to be like, I'm not here to, like, you know, relieve you of your lovely dresser with the glass windows with flowers on it. And, yeah, it's school jumpers for the boys. Because all of a sudden now they're wearing school jumpers. We stopped buying them school jumpers, like, for the last 2 years because they don't wear them. They just hold them. And at one point, Bill and Ben the Flower Pot Men, not his real name because he's not a 46-year-old man, or the guy who haunted Enfield House. That's a niche fucking reference. So niche, I don't think I'm going to be even able to back it up with any visuals. Just let it go. You either know or you don't. He lost his school jumper. Their school is full Jamie Carragher. Like, it's across the road, right? He lost his school jumper from walking to here. So, but anyway, they want the jumpers. We ordered some jumpers. It was the jumpers. But I feel like, how have I never seen you before? Like, how have I never seen you before? He's quite a young lad. Like, bizarre. It is weird how community's just changed, hasn't it? And when you think about the street that I had, you probably knew who everyone was because it's like, do you know what I mean? You need to fucking know because it's actually imperative that you do know. Like, one house across the way, smashed the window there, volleying. Like, the mad, like, our street used to have trees that were just, they were too much like a goal width apart. And you would just play football and you'd be just firing shots in at this goal. Like, the house was about 6 metres behind that. Mostly tin, but still with glass, all right? They weren't fucking Anderson shelters, big Anderson shelters, made by the same shit. I don't think they were intended to be sold. I'm pretty sure they were, like, built for the people who were building the city. And then enough stupid people were like, can we buy that? And they were like, yeah, if you're fucking stupid. I mean, yeah, definitely that was the plan. Because Milton Keynes was, like, a bit architecturally weird. And that might not be the case what I've just said there, by the way. Because there was a lot of weird houses in their design. It was kind of the MO of the city, now city. But I remember the bar for the cigarette, like, burn mark on it. And no one in my family smoked. So, and we were the first people to live there, I think. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know the fucking rich history of it. There was a lot of other things to sort of occupy your mind. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, that was a mad fucking street. But anyway, I don't know them. But anyway, it was a school jumper and everything was fine. But I think those sort of, like, when you have to go to a new house, my kind of Pavlovian conditioning is to be like, should I be wearing a stab vest right now? Like, yeah, very, very weird. But anyway, it was school jumpers, so, you know, no need to panic. So, yeah, the thing that came yesterday, the olive oil, and I'm going to find Gordon Ramsay saying that now.
We'll start off with olive oil. Start off with the olive oil into a pan. Olive oil, a couple of tablespoons of olive oil.
My mate got in touch, like, we work together at Next Clearance, and I'll have some stories for you about that. Oh, by the way, while we're here, and this is relevant, all right, so don't get at me for this. You know when I said about the guy who stabbed himself to death separating beef burgers in last week's show, and about how causes of death should be on gravestones? My mate, this same mate, he'd have the best cause of death on his gravestone, and it would say the words, death by bananas. And that's going to need a story, right? We used to go out drinking quite a lot, back when we used to go clubbing. And he got home, and he was hungry. He's a fit lad, like he's, you know, so he's got a furnace, so he's hungry, right? And gets home, the only thing he's got in that he can eat at his mum's house, bananas. So he has a banana, and he's like, well, I'm still hungry, so I'm gonna have another banana. I think he had like 5 or 6, possibly 7 bananas, just a whole bunch of bananas. And then he woke up the next day, and he couldn't fucking sit up. Like, he couldn't sit up, he had like stomach cramping, and he could not sit up, like, and he had to go to like fucking, I believe it was the hospital, and like, yeah, potassium overdose, essentially. So nearly had death by bananas on his cause of death. The mind would boggle. Got back pissed, killed himself with bananas. Fuck me, what was he up to? Could he not have just pulled? But yeah, so this same guy recently came around for something really manly, board game night. And it kind of come to light that his partner was going to do a residential as part of a university course in Cannock, which is a place that sounds far too much like it should be in Scotland for it to not be in Scotland. They assure me it's not in Scotland, but Cannock, oh yeah, a long way from anywhere when you come to Cannock. It sounds far too Scottish. How the fuck is it not Scottish? Come on, Scotland, take it back. But she's had to go there, and I think it's kind of like, so I don't really know what the fuck I'm going to do. Because, you know, he's like my age, so, you know, we're going out and about drinking. So we were like, oh, well, I'll tell you what, mate, like, why don't we find a game we could both play, right? Then we can go online. You know, I'm looking for ways to sort of diversify my evening, / looking for ways to give my wife some reprieve from my fucking ridiculousness. You know, she can watch TV at volume 10 rather than 80. I could put headphones in, so it's getting drummed right in through the gubbins in my ears. So I was like, yeah, let's, like, you know, so he sent me over a few games to float, and I was like, okay, well, this game, Diablo 4, I'll put a little picture up there. I was like, yeah, fuck it. Like, I've never played anything like this before. It looks quite interesting, though. Something a bit different. We can kind of discover it together. He's never played anything of the sort either. It weren't that expensive, which for me is good because I'm absolutely fucking skint as arseholes. But, like, yeah, so it arrives in the post yesterday with the olive oil, and I'm installing it. But I know it's coming, so I've started watching, like, I've started applying all my hyper-focus into this game. So I'm watching, like, a 2-hour comprehensive beginner's guide while my daughter slept. Like, of, you know, the classes, how the menus work, how the HUD works, all the sort of bits, what means what, how do you do that, who's this, what type of character is this, what's the objective, what do these symbols mean, what's a rune, what's an asset. You know, I'm all in, baby. And this is just me all over, because if there's something I want to get into, I will go, the amount of hours I put into learning about it compared to how much time I actually spend engaging with it before I get quickly bored, it's a fucking 90 to 10 split for sure, right? But I send my mate a message. I'm like, hey mate, just checking out a bit of like basic shit for this. And it was like, I think he replied, totally different approach to me. I like to go into these things blind. And part of me knows it's my idiosyncrasies, it's my bizarre brain, and it's that I'm all or nothing. But equally, like I replied to him, but here's the thing, mate. You don't have kids. So for me, free time, leisure time, is at a fucking premium, mate. Like, I can't spend that fleeting amount of leisure time. Because I said to him, my wife's doing a gym class tonight. I've got to do some football training, but, you know, there might be a little bit of a window, like an hour and a half. I can't spend that hour and a half getting immeasurably fucked off because I don't even know which way's up in a game. Like, I don't even know how to open the map. Like, I don't know what that word means. And I'm having to keep going on Google to be like, what is a necromancer's? And then you have to watch them YouTube videos where the guy spends, and I know this is pot calling the kettle very fucking black. This is pot calling the kettle under the bed. But, like, I can't watch a YouTuber go, hey, welcome to Diablo fucking Super-Doo guide, great game, and in this video I'm going to tell you what this rune means. So runes, what they mean is you're going to find out in this video, but before I do, here's a fucking message from my sponsors, Apex Legends, I'll see you on the battlefield, tank me. Right, anyway, so Diablo 4, great game. Oh, if you've never played Diablo before, God, I couldn't tell you. Played it the other night and it was a particularly warm evening, quite humid though, so when I got the fan, fuck off. Answer the question. Worse still, people that put tutorials on, this is not the daily unacceptable, but the weekly unacceptable, that's coming up later. It's people that put videos of how to do something, like how to find this particular chest in this particular fucking stronghold, who do not delete out all their fucking failed attempts. When it shows them going into every crevice of the fucking cave. Oh, no, not there, not there, not there. No, this is the guide of where it is, not all the places it fucking isn't. I could have done what you're doing right now. But my point to him is, my free time is at an absolute fucking premium. I can't spend an hour and a half working out which way to hold the controller. So part of it is I like to get really, really invested in something, only to not bother doing enough work to pay off the amount of time I'm putting into learning it. But also, yeah, I need to be aware of what's going on, because I need to have fun while I do it and not become basically an admin fucking headache. And yeah, so I've watched a lot of videos on it. I think I kind of know where I'm going with my character build, because what takes the longest, and this isn't going to be too video game heavy, although it probably is so far for some of you, building your character. You know, like when you used to play wrestling games, I take so long deciding that. So he couldn't play last night in the end, so he was like, well, mate, I tell you what, why don't you like get your character built, because I'd rather not. Because he'll just go in like casual with it, like the guy last week watching Big Ben. He'll go, barbarian, yeah, that sounds good, I'll be that. I can't do that. I need to map out all the possible life trees that exist in my every multiverse based on who I pick and what kind of flavour of that particular. I can't fucking help myself. So he was like, "Yeah, you do that because I don't want to sit and watch you doing that," which is fair enough. Like I didn't do it because I watched more videos to find out exactly which class I'm better off to be. And I'm like to him going, are you thinking of being more human, realistic, melee kind of character? In which case I'll do sort of more magic, necromancer type. If you're thinking of going that, then I've got it down to 2. And I'm just going to wait and see what he goes for. And then I can go down the sort of magic sorcerer route, or the kind of like bow and arrow, swordy, real life, reality route, as much as that could be in that game. But what I'm telling you now is I'm so ready, because part of my issue with my attention span is also that I can't watch normally paced videos. So I will watch things on 1.5 speed minimum. If I'm listening to an audiobook, I'm talking like 2.5 to 3 times speed. I'm listening to the Slow Horses books at the minute, but I've essentially got Busta Rhymes rapping them to me, because that's the only way I can focus. I've also got to walk if I'm reading something, because I can't, right? But I'm watching everything on 2 times speed with this Diablo 4 shit. By the time I'm actually playing the game, I'm going to feel like fucking Neo in the Matrix. Everything's just going to be slow motion to me. Oh, he's coming. Manana, mate. I can just get the Cuban out here. Like, I'm going to be so chilling. He's going to think, fuck me. Like, you're a guru. You slow down time, mate. I'm like, yeah, I do. Well, actually, it's because I've been watching it like... So when it comes to reality, it's like, oh, come on, mate. Look, ogres, if you're going to come, then fucking come, right? What are you waiting for? Your fucking bus tickets print out. Get a grip. So, yeah. But I'm looking forward to it. It's something a bit different, isn't it? Like, break up the evenings. Give my wife a bit of a break from me. Also, I'm really bad for when my wife goes to like do things like gym classes and stuff. I'm really bad for my brain not being like, hey mate, do you reckon this is the best use of your time? Why don't you watch this? Oh yeah, okay, then I'll sit to watch that. And he'll go, nah, don't watch this, don't watch the other. I'll do that. Should we be watching this? Doesn't your Arsenal podcast need work doing on it? Like, whereas if I have that and I've got a mate chatting, it will keep me kind of locked into that thing for like an hour. And sometimes you'll think, oh, it's a waste of time. But like my mate recently I was chatting to, Matt Bragg, by the way, and if you're watching this, he's on tour at the minute and he's so fucking funny. He's done tour sport for Ricky Gervais, Jason Manford, he's warmed up for John Bishop. Really, really funny fucking guy. Like, really fucking funny guy. So check him out. He's on tour. It's called Matt Bragg. It's got nothing wrong with him. He's all over the socials. He's great. He was telling me how he's bought a MetaQuest 3 and he's been pissing about with table tennis. I've just wasted all day, mate. But I think there's a lot to be said for sometimes just having a bit of fun. Do you know what I mean? Having your little child brain come through, your little monkey brain, come and have a laugh, come and enjoy this. Yeah, it's silly. Yeah, it's not, you know, it's not profound. It's not, you know, but sometimes I think there's a lot to be said for just play. And like, I really struggle to justify doing that to myself. But if I get to meet up with my mate, like online, it gets him, you know, he's a good mate of mine. We can chat, we can catch up, bit of fun. I think that's going to be really good for me and my ability to then the next evening when I need to knuckle down, I've had my bit of play. And yeah, I just feel like it'd be good. I'm quite looking forward to it. Maybe play tonight, I'm not sure, but yeah, I'll obviously keep you updated. This won't become a Diablo channel. Do not worry, because I'll be bored of it in about 3 days. So, okay, yes, right. So today's unacceptable. This is gonna be a new feature.
Excuse me, Megan. That behaviour's unacceptable. I don't like it.
Unacceptable. Things that are just unacceptable. Super Nanny says unacceptable. Megan, I do not like their behaviour, whatever it is she says. And today's unacceptable is people getting tattoos of real people, but getting the actor's version of their likeness tattooed on them. Unacceptable. Like, I don't know, Pablo Escobar, but they've got the dude who plays Pablo Escobar in Narcos rather than Pablo Escobar tattooed on himself. Because like, that's not Pablo Escobar. Like, I think it's quite a cool... Like, it can still look like a cool tattoo. If you love the show Narcos, excellent. Narcos, not entirely sure on that. I personally think it was really fucking good. I wouldn't say I'd... Do you know what? Portraits in general, this is the closest I've got. It's supposed to be James Dean. That's because my nan used to call me that. Rebel without a cause. And I've got a cause now, though, which is to prove that I was right all along in every interaction we ever had with you having no right to reply. But, like, with portraits, you can't fuck with it. Like, the tattoo place I go to, I've got some moody ones. You know, some are better than others, definitely, right? But, like, I love the place that I go to. Like, I've gone there for all of them, and they're great. Reasonably priced. But even they have on their wall, like, you know, a lion that's 50 quid, a lion that's 200 quid, a lion that's £1,000. And it's like, I think they even know. They're sort of at the lions at 200-300 quid, right? But they're saying, like, you get what you pay for. You don't want to scrimp on a fucking portrait. And I think the main guy's wife does portraits, and she showed them. They're very fucking good. But, like, you'd have to be so brave, because a portrait can go so wrong. Like, me and my wife were watching Ink Master quite a lot when she was pregnant. And portraits are so easy to fuck up. And if it's like a loved one, like a kid, you just think, the bollocks on it. To have sit for a caricature, to order spaghetti bolognese on a date, or to like do a portrait of a loved one on somebody, the huevos that must take. But yeah, unacceptable. If you're gonna get a tattoo of the thing, don't get the actor of the likeness of the thing. Get the person. Unacceptable. Speaking of what's unacceptable as well, I've got a little bit of shit for my hair. Like, I put that picture up yesterweek. Monday, actually, yeah, because we've gone to the Friday release. I know that hairstyle was unacceptable. The clothing also unacceptable. I didn't quite block out enough of the person I was with in the photo. I apologise if she's not happy about her face being associated with mine. I lived with her in the first year. We had, like, student digs. And, like, sometimes I want to be really prepared for shit. But I'm a bit of a contradiction, because other times I don't care to be in any way in the know. And that's one of the moments, because when I turn up to uni, everyone in my sort of, like 5 to a sort of, a shared key, then you had your 5 rooms. Everyone in my shared sort of hive knew each other throughout the summer. They'd gone on these like community boards and Facebook groups for freshers for that year and found out who was in what room and where. So I was like this mysterious fifth. And I had no idea it was a thing, because it didn't even occur to me to do it. My wife says that could be a signal of autism, that I just don't want to, like, integrate with people. And that could be fine. But, like, I had no idea. Like, no idea who they were. And they're like, oh, you're the mysterious fifth. I'm like, sorry, what? Because I felt like I sat there and I'm thinking, are you the fucking Waltons? Have you all decided to go to uni together and you're all related? Which would be particularly impressive, because Antonio is mixed race. And like, none of you are. So, your mum's obviously a bit of a fucking goer if that is the case, right? But you all know each other too much. And I feel like nobody knows me and I don't know any of you. Also, what didn't help my mystique is my stepbrother Chris drove me there rather than my parents. Everyone knows his parents, I moved them along. My stepbrother rocks up. So they think, right, orphan, definitely. And like, just a weird dude. Half a haircut. Something's a bit off about this guy. I stormed it with my opening line, though. I think I walked in and everyone's sort of like, there was 2 parents to a person, blah, blah, blah. And I went, oh, I think we're going to need a few more beds, guys. Good laughs, rippled across. Set your stall out early. I'm the funny one. No jokes for anyone else, please. Leave it to the fucking big boys. But yeah, everyone knew each other. And it was weird. But then, like, I think when they knew each other, they were a bit too familiar with each other, because they started trying to put rules into the living sort of processes. And they had this idea of having like a chores rota. And I'm not entirely against that. It's got to get done in the communal areas, right? But then they started laying down like fines. Like if you don't do your chore, you got to pay £1. And it's like, part of me went to go, look, here's 100, rule me out. But then the other part of me thought, I'm just not going to do it. And you better come mob-handed because I ain't giving you any fucking money either. Like, my rationale being, I don't need to wash up the pots and pans because I ain't using the fucking pots and pans, right? I lived off like the home roast frozen potatoes and gravy for breakfast. I'll wash that shit up, no problem, right? We had to do like our food diary for part of our like course we were doing. Jesus Christ, like the amount of fat percentage in my diet was just appalling. We had a bod pod at uni where it like it works by displacement to work out like your composition, muscle, bone, etc. We weren't allowed in it. They showed it off, one of them ones where they showed it off when you were doing the tour. But we can't use it. No, far too expensive. And you think, fuck you. Let's work out how many thousands per person in this room we've paid into this course. I'm glad I couldn't go in the bod pod. I'd come out like a fucking the same as a pork scratching in terms of my composition. But like, do you know what? I should never have got to uni, ever. I was definitely a tick box because I rocked up on the day. And they're like, oh, how did you find the middle school placement before the summer? I was like, sorry, the what? The middle school placement before the summer? I was like, oh, I didn't do it. Did you not get the pack saying you had to? I'm like, no. And I actually hadn't. I weren't bullshitting. I hadn't got the pack that said I needed to organise like a bit of middle school sort of volunteer work. It's a secondary school PE teaching course. I guess sort of like get you familiar with the sort of, you know, running of a school day without being gobbed at by 15, 16-year-olds. Like, yeah, have you not done that? Nah. Also, I noticed after the practical element, I think to show that you could put one foot in front of the other, everyone else started getting changed into like suits. And I didn't have one of them. So I just like put my jean shorts on and a t-shirt. And that was me. And everyone's like rolling into the interview. Like, that's a key skills test. I was a fucking pain in the arse in that. So much so that my mate, actually, Brad, who I play football with and is expecting a baby soon. And I can't wait for that moment because he's going to be, yeah, that bus is coming, baby. I'm really excited for him as well because he's my first mate that's had like a kid, which is crazy. And if you would have told people I'd have been first, that would be insane to people. But like, he was like, mate, you did my fucking head in. You would not shut the fuck up in there. And it's like, yeah, because I couldn't do the key skills. But I think, hey, we might need a few more beds in here, guys. That doesn't make any sense in this lecture theatre, does it? When's Phantom of the Opera starting? Would have been better, right? But like, so I would have been shit in that. I weren't in a suit. I'd half a haircut and done the placement. In the interview, I must have just been so fucking charming and disarming because, yeah, I got offered the place. Like, and I really can't work out how that happened, but it did. And do you know what? 2-1, baby. Was it pointless because I no longer teach? You bet your fucking ass. But I was there, and a good time was had by all. But yeah, they also were like, oh, let's, and I reckon Wednesdays we all eat together. And it's like, once again, hey, fuck off. How does that sound? I'm sure you're all lovely people, and I want to be your friends. All right, I want to be your friends. Believe me, I'd love nothing more than to be your friends. But like, we're not all meeting up over a sausage casserole, pal. All right, that's not what I'm about. Again, I can't listen and eat at the same time. So what am I going to do then? But I need someone like, you know, in 3am Hollyoaks, person in the corner. I'd need someone give me fucking sign language while they tell me about their fucking boring courses I don't give a shit about. Do you know what I mean? More reason to eat. Sorry, no, listen, I would love to hear more about your fucking early years development strategy for this fucking... But unfortunately, I've just got a mouthful of fucking cabbage. So, yeah. And I'm not going to be washing up my plate. Paper, fold and throw, which is fine. Wet condiments can be a problem. So, yeah. Not great for the environment either. Unless you're recycling. But I'm pretty sure they reject anything that's covered in foodstuffs. But, yeah. Hey, what am I? Here to save the earth? No, I'm not. I'm here to do a podcast that's somewhat tolerable. Right, spotted, memories, and then let's get out of Dodge. So for those who don't know, I go onto the local village Spotted and I share stuff on it, essentially. It's been semi-quiet. I don't know if I screen grabbed them earlier. I'm not sure if I did. I did. Okay, so straight off the bat, this one's old. I didn't click on this. This was where like I put the page in and this was like a highlighted post. I'm guessing there's a lot of like traction. It was a picture of like loads of names on like, you know what I said last week? Kids need something to do, otherwise they will write their names on things. And it's like, oh, if you find your child's name written on this, then, you know, get in touch because they've been graffiti and blah, blah, blah. And a lot of people in the comments going like, it's just things that kids do. They're just writing their names. Like, it's not a problem. But this comment really made me laugh. I used to do this when I was younger too. I know it's part of growing up. If it were just swear words, then yeah, punish them. But if not, it's normal behaviour. The person then replied, writing my name on a park bench saying I can suck balls isn't okay. Writing my name on a park bench saying I can suck balls isn't okay. Everyone seems okay with the graffiti. I take an issue to this though. Is it because they've name checked you and said that you can suck balls? Because I think it's more about that at this phase. But in this phase, at this stage, one of them, scratch that, reverse it. But yeah, that really made me laugh. My cat's food has been delivered here, which I have no idea where that is. Does anyone recognise it at all? Thank you. You know when they take a picture of it, but it's like you see some generic fence panelling, because apparently we live on the fucking set of Edward Scissorhands. Every house is the same, every garden's the same, and it's just a box between a green and an orange bin and some generic fence panelling, generic brickwork. Because again, everyone looks the fucking same. That's not helpful. It is not helpful. But then it's cat food, so it's more than likely this person is also feeding your cat wherever it is, because I think it's right on average. Cats are fed by 3 households. Cheeky bastards. Respect it in some ways, but cheeky bastards. And then dog shit news. Hi all, apologies in advance for the not so nice photo, but I've noticed for more than a few days now that almost all dog waste bins are overflowing. Does anyone know who's responsible for emptying these? There are so many chiefs these days, I'm losing track of who does what. Are we having chiefs? Is that culturally insensitive? I don't know, I guess it depends who does it. But these bins are like overflowing. It is mental, to be fair. Like, so much so that people then have just started like trying to balance it on like shitbag Jenga. But like, also in the comments, people going like, I don't know why I keep doing this today. Side effects of the caffeine may include doing finger guns all the time to the sky. Should have read the small print. But like, people going, well, why don't you just take the shit home with you? It's like, hey, why the fuck should I have to? Do you like do what with it? Put it into some sort of fucking chasseur? Like, no, put it in your bin at home. Why should I have to do that? We pay hundreds of pounds a month in council tax. Call me crazy, could someone not come and empty the fucking shit bins more than once a fucking month? People going, oh, it's because loads of people have dogs now. Yeah, but that shouldn't be the issue. If the village can't handle the infrastructure of a few pooches, what the fuck are we doing? Pay me. I'll empty the fucking shit bags. No problem. I'm not doing it for free. Shit can get heavy. And I don't mean that in a sort of gangster way. Heavy shit. Like, shit can literally get heavy when there's a lot of it. But, like, I'm not carrying it around with me, because if I do that as well, I clip it on the buggy, I forget. Then I spend the next few hours at home going, six of shit in here. I've definitely washed the dog's paw enough after he fucking frog marched through his own turd. And then, like, oh, the shit bag's still there. Like, but I shouldn't have to carry it around with me like it's a fucking, you know, in video games when you like, when you slay a big monster and you can keep like a trophy and it hangs off your mount. I'm like doing that with a buggy, but it's a shit like I've killed some sort of like turd monster. No. Empty the bins. Why the fuck should I have to carry it around with me like I'm really proud of it? I'm going to pin it to the fucking fridge. Like it's my shit in a bag. Yeah. So, there you go. That's all the drama that there is, really. Right, last thing then. Memories all alone in the moonlight. I go into my Facebook memories. I judge myself accordingly. It's absolutely fucking raw. I have got a friend anniversary with Tony Coward, funny one-liner comedian. Check him out. I'm whinging. I'm doing a rant about, like, you know, when Apple Watch wants to know if you're working out all the time, and it just like frantically tries to guess what you're doing. And it's like, hey, are you working out? It's like, fuck off, beep. I'm just going for a walk. Like, I'm walking the buggy. Are you doing elliptical training? It's like, no, I'm not. Like, I'm carrying the fuck off. Leave me alone. Anyway. So according to the government, I could be a yoga therapist, a sexual health advisor, an office manager, and a chilled out entertainer because they're not mutually exclusive, yeah? I'm guessing I put my skill set while signed on, and they've suggested those are things. Yoga therapist, easy, except I'll be a different flavour of yoga therapist. Rather than saying ground yourself, I'll say lay down, because we're all fucking human beings here. We understand what that means. Office manager, I think I'd be quite a good manager. I actually do think I would be for, 3 to 4 days, and then I'll be sick of it and bored. Sexual health advisor, yeah, we're a Johnny. Problem solved, right? I don't think there's much more to it than that. That's quite easy. How's that a job? You can just record that on a tape, or as it's modern day, on your phone. Put a condom on. Problem solved. At a gig. All featured in a little magazine. That was nice. I don't know what the fuck that is. Myself and Vickers are signing autographs here tomorrow night. Oh, it's the after party for a DJ set, which is why I'm deaf in one ear. Worth it. They were good times. Oasis, Stone Roses, Blur, Beatles, Stones, Blue Tones. I tell you what, that would have been that would have been my wheelhouse. I kind of stopped doing it because some of the events I was doing the after party for, like, I don't have the music for it. You got any Drake, mate? I'm like, nah. Got some Stone Roses though. Got it? No, I haven't. So I had to sort of duck out of Dodge. But that would have been me down to the ground. 15 years ago. Oh man, that's depressing. A mate of mine died. Ugh. Where'd you go from that? Do you have any Drake? Yeah, that's just sad, really. Pete, good man. He had an aneurysm. How fuck's that? Just like, boom, gone. Yeah, nothing. Do you know what? This has been tame. Do you know what? People used to just like use walls on Facebook like they were text messages. I'll save the girl's anonymity. Dan, how you been? WUU2, what you up to? Woo2 these days. Miss you. Kiss kiss. S. Mysterious. Your name's literally above the post. There's comments. Who do I dare? Gonna have to. Them's the rules. Hey, kiss. Oh, we've got early with a smiling kiss there. Hey, I'm as uni going well at uni. What am I doing? Am I pissed? I must be pissed because Les free Sumu how space S yet how you definitely pissed. Comment underneath. Whoops, sober now. Lol. Do you know? Just there for a good time. Just there for a good time. I'm not paying my fines for not doing the fucking hoovering, baby. Woohoo! I'm at Bedford Uni doing a QTS in secondary PE teaching. That's a level change, isn't it? Yeah, I'm actually learning to mould the minds of the future generations. Yeah, it's really important stuff. It's going well. How's life in the fast lane? Haha, you joker. Cool. I'm at Wolves Uni. You're not wrong there. Busy as always, but uni's immense. Smile. It's Kick Ape. Pissed again. Guess wins drunk again. Fantastic. Maybe those tick boxes aren't a good thing. All right, maybe positive discrimination has to end. Exhibit A. Hey, it was a good time. It was a good time. I mean, that's 15 years ago, so would that mean... What year would that have been? It'd be dated, wouldn't it? Let me try and work out what year I was in. Should I have been taking it seriously by then? 2009. Fresher. All right, you can keep putting lectures Thursday mornings. Keep putting tennis or hockey sessions in Thursday 9 a.m. I'll be there. Still with blue paint on me from when I went out as a Smurf the night before, but I'll fucking be there. Want to see a pirate with an excellent backhand slice? Fucking, I'll be there, mate. Arr. Yeah, let's leave it there. That's been all right. I'm now addicted to caffeine. Have good weeks. I will catch you on the flippity flop. I'll have some lunch. I'm hungry. Usual shit. Oh, no. Follow, subscribe, share, rate, follow, share, subscribe. Just, get involved. Message me if you want. RuMayoNation at gmail.com. They are going on YouTube now. You can watch these. I'm going to have a bottle of water and a sit down. Just take half. See how you feel. Usual shit. Shut up then.